100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Just a minute. Josh Arnold.
Joe? Rolling.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1741, March 20, 2026, first day of spring. 66 degrees on this day. We've lost the magic spell of 2012. We have to go back to 1938 when we had a record high of 66 on March 20. 9 below on this day in 1965. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Height in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
The John F. Kennedy Library Foundation is honoring the Twin Cities with a Profile and Courage Award for their response to federal immigration crackdown. The foundation notes that tens of thousands peacefully protested as more than 3,000 federal agents arrived in the metro in December, saying they responded with extraordinary courage and resolve. That's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Does everyone get a medal, I wonder? No, I wonder how will it be noted? Maybe there'll be a plaque or something somewhere.
You mean like a neck medal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be presented May 31st in Boston, which gives rise to an interesting question. Which politician will shove everybody out of the way to go get that award, I wonder? Will it be Fry?
Accuracy.
Yeah. But that's pretty neat. A lot of those people stood out there the whole month of January when it was 15 below. How is everybody?
Wonderful, Joe. How are you?
Is this the one I was looking for?
Yes, sir.
I feel great, but I sound like crap. So I'm gonna be. Unfortunately, I'll be at a minimum.
Holy crap,
as
Sam
far as
Weiss.
my,
Stop talking.
I think we should all get vaccinated in this country and make sure that no one is left behind.
I thought you weren't going to talk.
I'm done.
I'll take
Speaking
the
of-
over-under at 3 minutes.
Speaking of the immigration, Minnesota House Democrats blocked debate on a bill this week that would require county attorneys to report illegal immigrants who are arrested for violent crimes to ICE.
I'm stunned.
The Democrats do not want the county attorneys to report those arrested for violent crimes. The bill would invalidate local ordinances that prohibit communication or cooperation with immigration authorities. Additionally, it would require county attorneys to report illegal immigrants who are arrested for violent crimes to ICE, but we're going to wipe that out. Representative Max Reimer, Republican North Branch, said public polling shows massive support for local and federal authorities cooperating on immigration matters. But this bill wants to continue the absence of that cooperation.
Did anybody say why?
House Democrats said immigration enforcement is the job of the federal government and not local police.
Oh.
They called the bill a distraction and said it undermines the trust between community and law enforcement. The bill is a red herring intended to distract us from the real issues facing Minnesota, a federal government that is violating our constitutional protections and undermining our economy, said Representative Sandra Feist, DFL New Brighton. House Democrat leader Jamie Long, DFL Minneapolis, said most of those arrested during Operation Metro Surge did not have a criminal record. So this is not a local law enforcement issue. In fact, Tom Homan himself said he did not want local law enforcement to be immigration officers, said Long. I'll correct Long in a moment. He also claimed the bill seeks to address a non-issue. because cooperation between state and federal authorities has improved. Harry Niska said the bill simply establishes in law a common sense level of cooperation. Ultimately, all 67 Democrats in the House voted against taking up the bill for consideration. Let me repeat. The bill has nothing to do with illegals who haven't been found guilty of violence or not. I'm sorry. The bill has nothing to do with illegals arrested for jaywalking or, running a red light. The bill has calls for county attorneys to report to ICE the arrest of illegals who have been arrested for violent crimes, rape, bank robbery, murder, assault, whatever. And the Democrats, using the behavior of ICE, which was horrible, are clinging to that to say, no, we don't want any cooperation at all. Well, no, you should have cooperation if you arrest an illegal for a violent crime. Is it? I don't think that's asking too much. You alert the authorities if you just arrested somebody based on the suspicion of him or her having committed a violent crime. They're not talking about anything else in this bill except violent crimes. Okay. But the Democrats don't want that. This isn't the DFL of yesteryear, nor is it the Republican Party of yesteryear.
By far.
Particularly at the federal level. I had an odd thought today.
Okay.
Walz tries to gain a lot of purchase in his fading political career for constantly condemning Trump as being corrupt, which he is. But it strikes me that no one should believe Walz because he runs an administration just as corrupt. We're surrounded by grifters and graft and corruption and everything else under this administration, the same as the Trump administration. So it doesn't work for Walz to come out to the pulpit and say Minnesota is kind and we work. No, you run a screwed up state, Tim. It's just as corrupt as Washington. I happen to think Washington's corrupt.
You think?
Have you seen the latest?
Well, I have three things I would like to discuss about Mr. Trump. Is the latest about Mr. Trump?
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a new gold coin with Trump's likeness on it.
Render to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Well, that's about where we are.
I know.
The U.S. Mint is moving forward with a gold commemorative coin featuring Trump after a federal arts commission, I think he appointed all the members, approved the design with Treasury officials citing a legal authority that allows the inclusion of a sitting president despite long-standing restrictions. A source familiar with the Commission of Fine Arts said that they were shown a mock-up approved by the panel, clearing a key step towards production of the coin. See, the move is notable because federal law traditionally bars living individuals from appearing on U.S. currency.
As well as stamps.
But U.S.
Correct. That's correct.
I don't know that, Matt.
You can't have a living person on a postage
I did
stamp.
not know that, Matt.
Yeah, I'll verify that for you.
Where was I?
I don't know. I rudely interrupted you.
You did.
I know.
The move is notable because federal law traditionally bars living individuals from appearing on U.S. currency. But Treasury officials say a separate statutory authority allows the minting of gold coins that can feature the sitting president. I didn't know that existed. Setting up a potential break from longstanding precedent. As we approach our 250th birthday, which I believe is going to be celebrated with a WWE match at the White House.
That's why we need a new ballroom.
As we approach our 250th birthday, we are thrilled to prepare coins that represent the enduring spirit of our country and democracy, and there's no profile more emblematic for the front of such coins than our serving President Donald J. Trump, U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach said. B as in B, S as in S. A semi-quincentennial commemorative gold coin featuring Trump. Oh, that's a cut line. Beach added that the proposed commemorative gold coin would be separated. I bet you have to buy them, and then Trump will get the money. Beach added that the proposed commemorative gold coin would be separate from circulating currency and fall under the Treasury Secretary's discretion. Treasury officials pointed to a provision under Federal Law 31 U.S.C. Subchapter 5112 that allows the Secretary to authorize bullion and proof gold coins with specifications, design, and inscriptions determined at their discretion. All right. You going to get one?
I have a question.
It would be a
whenever-
collector's item.
I have a question when you're done with the story.
I'm done.
How many coins can I buy with my gold-plated Donald Trump $100 bill
Right.
that I got from my guy Bo at Colburn's liquor store in Belle Plaine, Minnesota?
Look at that. A gold-plated $100
Wow.
bill. Show it to the camera.
I am.
Well, you're not. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You are. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that real?
Of course. how could it not be? It's the most beautiful $100 bill.
Are you serious, Clark?
It's tremendous.
Is that $100?
Sure.
Let me see it.
Dinner's on me.
Let me see
I wouldn't
it.
trust him with it. While you're looking at that, as of,
I think this is real.
Well, remember, he sold those in conjunction with, there was something else too. Was it shoes, Johnny? This was from, I think, his first term.
I think he's
sell
giving
shoes?
shoes away.
Give
Florsheim.
shoes away.
Florsheim.
No, this was
You're
from
probably paying for those.
The shoes
by
are
way.
comp.
No, remember the tennis shoes? He had the gold.
Yeah,
tennis
he had the
shoes.
gold-plated shoes.
Trump tennis shoes.
The Trump tennis
They
shoes.
sold for I don't know $125 or something.
And I
Just
don't
think
remember.
if you had all of these collectibles.
I'm sure I'm sure there is a market for all Trump collectibles.
The
Well, these
original
sold
box.
out.
Very nice. way
These
to put
all
it, Joe.
sold out.
So it looks like this coin is going to be the largest coin they have is 3 inches, and that's what they're thinking about for this. And
About
that
right.
means it'll be over 1 ounce of gold in the thing, right?
I don't know.
Just
Well,
keep,
that's going to put its value in the thousands.
but you have to keep the original packaging.
In other words, these aren't just going to go into
These aren't circulation.
circulation.
No.
Well, as I said, you'll have to buy them from Trump, and he'll pocket the money, or Jared will, or somebody.
As of 2018, living persons are generally not allowed to be honored on U.S. postage stamps.
Thank you.
The price of gold, 1 ounce of gold, $4,562.
Well, then, what is the point of this coin? Will it be sold?
It's not solid gold, though, right?
It
Coin?
can't be. It can't be. Let's continue with Mr. Trump. It came out a bit ago, a week or so ago. We never talked about it. That there's a fundraising email from Mr. Trump from his political action committee that has a provocative pitch using an image from the dignified transfer honoring 6 fallen U.S. soldiers. It promises access to the president's private national security briefings.
What?
Oh,
The email sent by Never Surrender, Inc. promotes what it calls a national security briefing membership and urges recipients to claim your spot with multiple links to donate in what it describes as an exclusive group receiving updates about national security threats. It promises that members will receive my private national security briefings, unfiltered updates on the threats facing America, the straight truth on border invasions, foreign adversaries, deep state sabotage, and every danger the fake news hides. The message includes an official White House photograph showing Trump saluting during a dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base.
Ooh,
Is that the one where he wore the hat, I wonder?
I think so. When the bodies are going by.
A flag-draped transfer case, which is used to transport soldiers' remains, is visible in the photo. I'm the strong commander who stares down tyrants, obliterates terrorists, and never backs down. The fundraising email continues. This is for patriots ready to stand with that kind of unbreakable strength. This is not for the weak or the wavering. I am the president, Donald J. Trump. You're the only reason we've saved America, the page reads. Now I'm asking you to consider making a small, sustaining contribution so we can complete the mega agenda. Can I count on your support? I'm not sending any money.
You sure?
What is the cost?
The government is breaking me anyway. I don't have any extra.
Is it a monthly fee or a flat?
Well, that word sustaining is interesting, isn't it? You better read the small print in this deal if you send any money.
Yeah. So,
My favorite part of the last 10 seconds is the number of GLers that will be listening to our podcast and think that their phone died for the extended pregnant pause. What's wrong with your show?
we're not doing it on YouTube yet.
Do you get to, I wonder if, no, I'm not going to ask a dumb question. How are you going to receive these supposedly private national security briefings?
Is it supposed to be?
Because that suddenly makes them not private.
Is it a Zoom?
Well, I'm wondering, do you go to the office and do you get to sit around the table?
No way.
Because you're going to, thousands of people will do this.
Thousands?
Yeah. So how do you get them, I wonder? If they just in the mail?
I would pay for the experience.
No, seriously, how would you get these? Your phone isn't secure.
It's true.
Your email isn't secure.
True.
Zooms aren't secure.
No.
Nothing's secure. Well, plus, we all know deep down that you ain't going to receive bleep. You might get a lot of grousing about ABC News or something, but I would have to think that he's not going to inform you that on March 27th, the Russians are going to launch a nuclear attack on America. I would think somebody would get to him and say, now we can't tell people that.
Right.
But cool if you did, because I'd tell you guys right away.
Yeah.
Hey, Monday?
Thank you. I would want
Guess
you to
what's
tell
going
me.
on, right?
I would want you to tell me.
Yeah, just so you know.
John, how are people to receive this, I wonder?
I don't know, and I've just looked through 2 stories that do not address that at all. Just says you'll get them. That's all.
Now, well, he's still threatening to send everybody a $2,000 tariff check, too, a rebate check.
Is that like the Walls bucks?
Yeah, that seems
Yeah,
unlikely. I'm not planning on that. I'm not counting on that. But gee whiz, I don't think the country's security briefing should be made available to any Tom, Dick, and Harry who's got the money to. I haven't read the. I got to think there's a minimum amount you must invest in the PAC to be able to join the security. Is that in there,
Well,
John?
there
I
should
mean,
be
if I
no-
send in $10, I'm not going to be made it's like an Ovaltine wrapper.
So, yeah, what amount would you have to do?
Yeah.
Nothing I've seen on that either.
What's the number?
Maybe he just floated this to see if he could get away with it. And if he gets enough criticism, He won't
He'll
do
rescind it
Yeah.
or say that went out prematurely.
it. I had
That staff member's been fired.
Yeah. Somebody took care of that for me. I didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know anything about it. I'm just looking, Chris. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right? Just settle down.
Yeah.
Remember when Minnesota had affordable renewable energy? Well, I don't remember that. Your electric bill is climbing, businesses are getting squeezed, and the competitive edge in our manufacturing sectors is disappearing, all because of a feel-good policy that ignores reality. In Minnesota, we're not allowed to develop nuclear power plants. And the American experiment is looking at that. They're examining it. They're writing about it. They want you to join them. You can go to AmericanExperiment.org and hit or click on the button that says whatever that is on the screen. Click on that, and it says Take Action. And you can tell your representative it's time to free the nukes and restore reliable, affordable energy in Minnesota. And it is my understanding that the nukes are the cleanest, safest, and most reliable carbon-free energy on Earth. But they have a bad reputation, don't they? You know, you hear nuclear power plant and you think 3 Mile Island or Chernobyl or whatever. That they got it, we're way advanced here.
Right.
It's the cleanest energy you can find, and it would be incredibly cheap, which is probably why XL will fight it, or probably why XL doesn't buy the bill. Their rates are just incredible, and they're getting higher. Go to AmericanExperiment.org and click on Take Action.
Something.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
I got to tell you, guess what I did yesterday, Joe?
Okay, let me guess. He went to some kid's basketball game.
Close.
Yeah.
Not even close,
You
actually.
got up, you got dressed, you went downtown to look for a job.
The voice is awesome. I went to North American Banking Company in Hastings. That is probably one of the most...
Usually you go to Roseville.
Guess what was closer?
Hastings?
For me, in my route.
As long as you're on your way home.
Yeah, I was just going to drive through Hastings, swing through there.
Yeah.
Hastings is a very underrated town, by the way. What a neat town.
I don't think it's underrated at all.
You think it's properly rated?
I think so.
Okay. Anyway, because payment was due, so I walked into the North American Banking Company in Hastings, Minnesota.
Don't they accept mail? You send them a check?
I like walking in.
All right.
Because you know why?
But they do accept mail.
Because you know why I like walking in? They treat me like I'm an individual. They give me such great customer service, Joe, at North American Banking Company. And you know what? It doesn't matter what you're looking to do. Maybe you're looking to finance a new home renovation project. Maybe you're looking to buy a home. Maybe you're looking to buy a car that you're trying to hide from your significant other. It doesn't matter. They will take care of you. Their experts make everything so easy. Local, customized, personalized service, and they're also locally owned and operated. Your first step, though, should be checking them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. It's banking done differently with the same updated online and mobile banking tools as all of those other big national banks. nabankco.com to learn more. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Joe?
Can the airline industry outlast the TSA not getting paid? What is the situation today, for example?
There were many members from the TSA present, and everyone that I've talked to has no malice or wants to call in. They're going to gut it out. I haven't had anybody that's been negative, but it's starting to pinch them right now. This is their fourth week.
When the government gets back to work, are they going to receive back pay?
Yes. They'll receive pay for all hours
Right
worked.
away? Or are they going to have to wait a pay period?
No, it's pretty quick. It's on their next paycheck that they square up.
There's a partial shutdown in Washington, D.C. It's in its second month. It's coming close to last fall's 43-day government shutdown, which also paused payments to thousands of TSA workers. I tried to do some homework on this today. Senate Democrats have vowed to block funding for DHS, Department of Homeland Security, until reforms are made to immigration and customs enforcement following the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy here. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries called on Democrats this week to join a discharge petition that would fund all DH agencies except for ICE. All right. A vote on similar legislation failed earlier in the Senate. Jeffries would need at least 4 Republicans to sign on with all Democrats for the discharge petition to move forward. I think 4 Republicans should join that. You're not going to have an airline industry. No one's going to go to the airport and wait 5 hours to get on a flight.
Did you see the video footage this morning of Atlanta?
I did not.
Basically, the TSA lines were so long.
How long were they?
How long were they?
The people were, is it serpentine? Is that the right word?
Yes, it's a good word, Chris.
They were serpentining around the baggage claim area. That's how bad it was.
That isn't even usually on the same floor as where you board.
You've been to the Atlanta airport?
I have.
It was complete.
I don't like
mayhem.
that airport.
Oh.
It's too big.
I'm not speaking for Houston or Atlanta because they do have problems. But here, there is not major problems blamed on TSA.
What do you attribute that to?
Matthew,
Minnesota nice. They're showing up.
you're supposed to take credit. That's
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
I've got a lot of quotes from TSA workers who are showing up.
Because they're feeling it.
But it's costing them. They're accumulating debt at home. Some of them are resorting to selling their blood.
All right.
That's not a good way to make an extra buck.
It's not. But allow me for just a second to let you know that at the airport, they're taking food shelf donations. And what you can do is drop off a gift card. Gas is still expensive for them to get back and forth. So they are taking, if you want to give them a holiday card, you can drop it off right at the USO or the information booths at the airport, and they'll take them. Monetary or goods that are not
This used to be a
perishable.
hell of a country.
Yeah. And they're hurting, so they need it.
Joseph Cerletti, a TSA officer at Oakland San Francisco Bay Airport, told ABC News, of course, that's just a fake news organization, so whatever he told them probably was a lie, told ABC News that he struggles to explain to his kids about their financial issues now that his family has to depend solely on his wife's income. Cerletti relented that he and his coworkers do not have the upper ground here. It's very hard to find words in English language to describe how I feel about this other than speechless, he said. This is just what I've been describing lately as figuratively as an uphill gunfight. Now, you throw in, at some point, Matt, you're going to have to put your mind. I'm using you seriously as we have a geologist, we have a lake detective. You're our airport person for the country.
Yeah.
Now, seriously, put your mind in at your job where they are having problems, Houston, Atlanta, whatever. You claim there aren't any here. But will those problems reach a point where travel will halt?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think people are, if you have that travel plan booked to Cabo or wherever, you're still going to go. You've booked it for 6 months. The kids are on break. You're going to stay there an extra 3 or 4 hours if you're at a bad airport.
If the kerosene required to fuel jets, a special blend, gets cost prohibitive, that really isn't the traveler's problem. That's the owner of the airline has to wrestle with that. That's his problem. Could that reach a point where travel halts?
Maybe down the road, but I highly doubt that. Right now, all the gas is paid for, so it just depends on what they're buying now.
But the fatal flaw in that logic, though, Matthew, I'm not ripping you or MSP, but even though things are running smoothly here, you got to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Which is weird that it's running smoothly here because this is a big airport. This is a major airport in this country. It's a hub.
And it's from all the airports.
Isn't it? Is it a hub?
Yeah. And all the airports, it is in the top 5 in departures and arrivals as far as time.
Well, something else occurs to me that what could happen down the road, given gas prices, given government shutdown, delaying TSA agents from getting paid, given the cost of jet fuel, what if we face that work from home BS again?
What do you mean?
Can't you see that coming? You can't afford the gas. You can't fly to Omaha for your business meeting. Let's everybody work from home.
Zoom?
Well,
Why would we have to do that?
Yeah.
Because you can't afford to travel to the place of employment, so you start working from home.
So you're envisioning a COVID style?
Yes, that's what I'm fearing.
But it's not a presidential election year. We won't have COVID again.
Yeah,
No,
but
he's saying
no,
it
there
would
are
be
midterms, though.
cross prohibitive to go.
John's not fighting.
Well, any excuse people can come up with to work at home, they'll probably take it.
Oh, it's already happening.
And that contributes to the downfall of the tall buildings the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings. So I wonder if we're facing another round of maskless staying at home working. Because these TSA agents can't be expected to show up much longer without getting paid.
No, and the number one request, as I said, gas cards to get to work.
I know, but I mean,
and
just
Target and
think of
Walmart.
what you're setting up here. You'd be doing a very charitable thing to bring a gas card to a TSA agent at the airport, but that isn't the way the United States should work.
We should fix the problem in D.C.
Hey,
what should happen.
I have to fly to Miami, but I'm going to bring you some peaches and a gas card. I mean,
Yep.
Jesus Christ. I'm praying.
Right. Thank you, Mary Helen.
Let's go here. What the hell is wrong with this?
Are you talking in the can?
I'm just talking.
I don't want canned peaches.
Well, that's what the kind I'd bring you. I'd bring
Yucky.
canned peaches in that syrup.
I want
Yeah.
I want a fresh peach.
What's wrong with canned peaches?
He
I
likes
want a
the
fresh peach.
He likes the
bring-
canned apricots. But why isn't there more pressure being put on D.C. to fix this?
Well, there is. The problem is you've
It
got.
doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Is there any sense of urgency?
The
No.
problem is they're both using this as just a political football. Both sides
well,
are.
and that leads us to a theme that we've discussed often at the University of Garage Logic. These are people not representing the American public.
Nope.
These are people representing their own tribes. You've got one tribe who hates Trump and another tribe that hates the people who hate Trump. And in the meantime, the TSA worker who's trying to make his mortgage payment and get his kid a new pair of shoes for soccer, they don't give a bleep about him. Not a bleep. Or the rest of us. These people are despicable. They do not get the work done that this country needs being done because they're on the third rail and they're only taking care of themselves.
Shut up and pay your taxes.
It's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic.
I am working my way through the A section of the Star Tribune right now. Joe, I am on 6A, and I have not seen one headline and or story about the TSA or the government shutdown.
Right. I did this morning. I just got something stuck in my craw wondering what exactly is the problem. Well, the problem is tribal. Mysterians do not want immigration enforcement in this country.
Nope.
The other half of the country wants immigration enforcement, but they can't come to an agreement how that should be done appropriately.
No, I'm sorry. You're not above the rules, sir.
I know I'm not.
Can I, yes, it's somewhat analogous to what you're saying.
It better be more than somewhat.
Look at all that's his precursor now.
But here's the thing. I have been waiting for the
training.
proper way to introduce this piece of audio to you, but it speaks exactly what you're talking about. Let's head to New York, shall we, ladies and gentlemen?
All right.
Hop on the jet.
Kathy Hochul. Is it Hochul? Hochul. Hochul, thank you. She's the governor, you guys, of New York, and she is being mocked nationwide. This is a 60-second clip. The first part is what she said back in 2022 and what she just said 2 days ago in 2026.
I know what's coming, and this might be fun to hear.
And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. But maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We've saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this.
Well, you weren't smart about it, Kathy. You and other Mysterians, you chased those people out, and now you're walking to them with your hat in your hand saying, won't you please come back and help pay our bills?
With the tin cup like you're the homeless guy. Please, sir, may I have a morsel?
Tribal politics are ruining the country. They're absolutely just helping destroy the country.
That is the ultimate F around and find out moment for the governor. Get out of here. Go to Florida. Well, they all did.
It was almost as fun as Trump ripping Tesla. Remember that? 2 months ago?
No. Walls ripping Tesla.
Oh, yeah. Walls. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's stupid.
Meanwhile, that's their biggest stock.
Yeah.
For the state of Minnesota, it's Tesla stock.
And the employees of the state are going, wait,
no,
don't say that.
Come on here. Oh, that's just beautiful. They need to come back and take advantage of our wonderful programs.
At a time when you've installed as a mayor a guy who he wants to take every penny a billionaire can cough up. So, Hochul, you're in a tough spot. I know you're taking your orders from Mamdani, but that's going to make it harder and harder to lure people back here from Texas. This is what happens when there is nothing but hatred in the third rail camp. That's all you're going to get. They don't care about us.
Orange man bad?
Yes,
Yep.
or Orange man good.
Sure.
And it doesn't work for the common man in this country.
Orange man
It's
good.
not working out. It's not working out for TSA agents. It's not going to work out for the middle-class New York taxpayer. It's not going to work out anywhere. It doesn't work. And here you got the governor who 3 years ago said, get out of here, get on a bus and leave. We don't like your values. Well, maybe if you came back, you could help pay our bills.
We might not be bankrupt.
Lady, you don't win. You can't win with this. Jeez,
I should
whiz.
send you guys a piece I read the other day about just how bad it's going to get in New York.
And she echoed this working from home scenario, which I find dreadful for just the overall health of commerce in the country. People should get up and be moving and go to work. That's how you all generate some dough.
You know, buy lunch somewhere?
Yes.
We always discuss how Minneapolis is the economic engine of the state.
Not anymore.
Well, but okay, it was. But what would that downfall of New York City for the country be?
It would be ruinous. It's the financial capital of the world. It would be just devastating.
Come on in for the free stuff.
Yeah.
And don't let the failed academy off the hook. They've done a hell of a job training the current 22-year-old voter to not like this country. Right. They've done a hell of a job.
Do you think New York will fail?
Yes, I do. Under the current leadership that we have federally, locally, regionally, how can it not fail?
Kenny, Mom Donnie's 3 months into his tenure.
I asked that because earlier, before he was elected, we were all saying New York is too big to fail.
I don't believe that. I think I agree with you. I probably said that, but the longer we play out here, you've got a president worried about a gold coin with his mug on it.
Yeah, but that's I don't think the two are comparable. We're talking about a commemorative tchotchke piece of crap coin that goes on a shelf.
Okay.
What does it mean?
What is important is the lack of common sense leadership from the very top. Last week or 10 days ago, he went to Missouri, not to comfort the citizenry, not to comfort the electorate and say, I know gas prices are high. I know I've created this situation. We'll get out of it. Hang in there with me. No, he went to bitch at Massey, who was running for re-election in Missouri. He went there purely for his own political gain that had nothing to do with helping anyone in this country. Nothing. If somebody tell me what he's done to help people in this country. What? Economic growth right now is at zero. Zero.
The only thing he's done is he's promised to get tougher on ICE and the borders, and that's what a lot of the people that he voted for wanted to happen.
Okay,
but
which is great, but ICE has got to behave more professionally than they did when they stormed through here in January. That was pathetic.
I agree.
Absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, that was a debacle.
And the tribe happens to see that, and they're saying, we're not funding you TSA agents because we're angry at the way Trump's ICE behaved. It's not the country's ICE to that tribe, it's Trump's ICE. And Trump's tribe is saying to the Democrats, you're going to ruin flying in America. You're going to ruin the economy. They're all ruining the economy by their actions.
I misspoke. This is a $1,000 gold-plated bill, not a $100 gold.
Are you serious, Clark?
Yep.
$1,000. Is that
$1,000.
real?
Hey, dinner's on me, boys.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah.
What liquor store did you go to? I'm going to go there.
Hey, Yarmos, I'm coming.
They're not handing that out at Yarmos.
I go to First Grand. They got them. They got them bills. What did you want to do?
Yeah. Can you do one of those? That'd be helpful.
Well, I can.
We can.
And I will.
Garage doors?
I love them.
Do you think Precision would take this $1,000 gold-plated Donald Trump bill for my repair?
No, they're too smart.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to tell you about it, and now I'm going to. You need a new garage door? Precision Garage Door has models of doors for every budget. Excuse me. They send out a new door designer. You have a meeting with the designer. You pick the right door for your budget. And if you do, you get a $400 trade-in credit for your old garage door, which they will dispose of course. If you like your current door, but you're a little worried that she's going to falter, book one of those $79 safe and sound packages and let those pros from Precision Door throw a 25-point safety diagnostic inspection at it. They'll tell you if you're going to make it or not, or what you need. You can save yourself some money in the event you don't need a new door. Book online at Precision Door MN. That's one word. PrecisionDoorMN.com. No, I'm not done.
Sorry.
82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under by again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time and this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Boy, oh boy, it's crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. Less than a month to go to file those taxes, and you only have, let's see, today's March 20th, right? You got 11 days to file your stuff with Linda Keller and Keller Tax Service before you are going to get sent to Extensionville. You don't want to be in Extensionville.
I don't.
And that's what Linda Keller is urging you to do. So right now, book your appointment online at KellerTaxService.com, or you can also call her directly at 320-352-0013. Either way, you can get on that schedule. And you know what? If you go to that website, she has all sorts of updated tax information. She also wanted me to thank all of you GLers. And you know what she even said, Joe? Thanks, Joe, for all the kind words he has said about me.
Oh, yeah.
She has been flooded with all sorts of new customers this year, courtesy of the Garage Logic podcast and the Weekly Scramble podcast. So thank you, GLers, for trusting Linda Keller. She's been taking care of me for years. Kenny, Johnny, they trust Linda Keller. She's the best in the business, and she will take care of you. And it doesn't matter where you live. Even if you're not in the state of Minnesota, she can help you out and take care of you. And for you small business owners, my goodness gracious, look at Linda Keller and KellerTaxService.com. We're looking at 110 right now, Joe. KellerTaxService.com. Book your appointment and let her know you heard about her on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here's Mr. John Haidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by a North American banking company. I just want to let you guys know before I do the news, I hope it doesn't come to the point where we have to work from home.
You're such a son of a bitch.
You are.
You know that? You really are.
I will never do that again.
Thank you very much.
I don't like it.
Wait, so you didn't enjoy...
No, I didn't. No.
I used to like it when you'd get visits during the show.
That's exactly what I was going to say,
Joe,
Johnny.
where's the stapler?
In fact, I think that might have been one of our first ever viral YouTube videos is when the CP handed you your plate of lunch during the show.
Oh. I think we should do it from the airport. I should have a
Chris, he
set
makes his own
airport.
lunch.
I make my own
Makes
lunch.
his own lunch. Yeah, that's right. In the news, 3 more Feeding Our Future defendants entered guilty pleas in federal court this morning. Aisha Hussein, Sarah Osman, and Fadumo Youssef each pleaded guilty to 1 count of wire fraud. Suleiman Mohammed scheduled to plead guilty Friday morning as well, but his hearing was rescheduled at the last minute. They'll now have his hearing next week. The defendants, part of a group of 7, all scheduled to go on trial in April. After Suleiman Mohammed's plea hearing next week, Gandhi Mohammed will be the only defendant remaining for the trial. Gandhi Mohammed rejected a plea deal. Under the terms of Aisha Hussein's plea deal, remaining charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit federal programs bribery, and conspiracy to commit money laundering will be dismissed at sentencing. She is expected to be sentenced to 21 to 27 months, roughly between 1.5 and 3 years. For Sarah Osman, remaining counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit federal programs bribery, and conspiracy to commit money laundering will be dismissed. She's expected to receive between 33 to 41 months, or about 3.5 to 4 years.
Not long enough.
In federal prison.
Matthew, hold on a second, John. Matthew, that was a good idea. There should be a kiosk in the ticketing area at the airport where you do GL from every day.
Just like when they do the live shots, yeah.
You should just be out there right on the floor as passengers travel past you, complaining.
Right now, during this shutdown, that's a hell of an idea.
Of course it
That
is.
would be
Everything
great.
I say, I have nothing but good ideas.
Okay.
Yeah. Update.
Actually, it was Matthew's idea, but I'll take credit for
Got
it.
it. You can do that. We'll split it.
Hi, John.
Hi there. Update to a horrible story from earlier this week. The Anoka County Sheriff's Office has identified the 2 people killed in that double homicide early Wednesday in Lexington. Officials say the victims were 44-year-old Jennifer Marsaw and her 5-year-old son, Marzai Dawson. Neighbors said they lived on the block where the shooting happened. 3 other children escaped the house and ran to a neighbor's house. That neighbor, Stephen Clark, brought the kids inside the home and called 911. The suspect in the case, 53-year-old Irving Marsaw, was located with the help of a Blaine police canine. He was taken to a hospital, treated and released, booked into the Anoka County Jail. Authorities say he was Marsaw's estranged husband. On November 19th and again on January 17th, Jennifer Marsaw had petitioned the Anoka County District Court and had been granted harassment orders for protection. However, the order, she had it dismissed, the first one barely 5 weeks later on December 26th, explaining to the court she and her husband were starting counseling. But she came back on January 17th, filed a second petition. Again, she had the order dismissed, this time saying she needs to help him so they can take care of their children. Along with his domestic assault run-ins, Irving Marsaw's decades-long criminal history in the Twin Cities and St. Cloud includes numerous convictions for various offenses: assault, robbery, illegal gun possession, burglary, terroristic threats, and malicious punishment of a child back in 2017 when he punched his 15-year-old daughter in a hotel room.
Sorry, God.
Do you know how smart those 3 kids that took off were?
Pretty smart.
They ran to a neighbor's house that had dogs because they knew the dogs would wake up the owner.
Yep.
You mentioned this earlier, Joe. The John F. Kennedy Library Foundation honoring Twin Cities residents with the Profile and Courage Award for their response to the federal immigration crackdown. That foundation notes that tens of thousands peacefully protested as 3,000 federal agents arrived in the metro. The Profile and Courage Award will be presented May 31st in Boston. An award named after a book written by John F. Kennedy called Profiles in Courage. The book won a Pulitzer Prize, profiles 8 U.S. senators who demonstrated exceptional moral courage by defying their parties and their constituents to do what they thought was right. Written while Kennedy was a junior senator, the book highlights acts of bravery and integrity by figures like John Quincy Adams and Daniel Webster, focusing on moments where they prioritized national interest over personal or political gain.
It'll be very interesting to see who represents Minnesota at that event.
Speaking of Kennedy, May we do something? Will you enlighten me for just a
Not
moment?
if it's not germane to what we're talking about.
It's
here.
germane to the show today because Matthew mentioned it earlier today. Matthew, I'd like to do a compare and contrast because we used to do Matthew versus Kamala Harris.
For many years, I was saying not one of the 72 vaccines mandated for children has ever been safety tested.
Now, would you please say the same sentence in your current form?
Well, as I concur, the 72 vaccinations that have been by the children must be stopped immediately.
Thank you.
You gotta throw a little Katharine Hepburn in there.
Yeah, you sound like a witch more than anything.
Sorry.
You're doing somebody. I just don't know who.
Oh, this would be a great day to record you as Kennedy.
Let's go to the news, please.
The Star Tribune with a story about the new University of Minnesota slogan. The new slogan?
I can't imagine.
The new slogan is "Leave a Future." What exactly that means is confusing some people.
Here.
And officials from the U were unavailable to comment for the Strib story. The U's foundation, which paid for most of the
How much?
$15 million contract with the marketing firm Rise and Shine
what
and
a
Partners.
scam. What a fraud, corrupt, graft-grabbing piece of BS that is.
Yeah,
To
give
help
me a
the-
new logo.
To help the U with branding over 5 years, also did not respond to a request for comment.
Oh, that is just outrageous.
Rise and Shine and Partners said it could not comment on active
Of
work.
course they can't.
At a March 6th meeting where U staff unveiled the new slogan, Susan Hagen, the U's Director of
God, are
Creative
we
Services,
Somebody's gotta go.
said the tagline is about evolving the university's brand to prioritize education and service alongside research. She said research showed that the community wanted to, in her words, expand beyond a hard focus into just research. On Reddit, students, everyone was cracking jokes about whether the U was encouraging students to leave campus or drop out of school.
No, kids complain about what it cost.
Well, it's foundation money, though. It's not the U's.
So what? They don't have any money. That's public money.
Well, it's donated.
No, it isn't. They're stealing from people.
We went through this with that other. There was another story about the
Yeah,
foundation.
when they bought the mansion.
Thank you, Kenny. Yes.
Yeah.
That logo sounds like they sat around the table. Somebody said, okay,
$15 million.
we need a future. And somebody said, we got the 15 million already? Let's
Whose
get the hell
Aunt
out of here.
Edna works for the foundation that has a brother-in-law who's got this marketing firm?
Yep.
One use.
Not only is that phrase wonderful, I think it should be superimposed over the new Minnesota flag. I think that would make a quality logo and billboard.
The U's current slogan, in case you're wondering, which they've been using for about 2 decades in marketing material, is "Driven to Discover." So it'll now become "Leave a Future."
Take a leak should be leave a leak.
Leave a leak. Why don't we take a break at the
Yeah.
moment and hear from Mr. Olson?
Yeah, I want to read an email that GLer Tim wrote me about his tractor. He's got a 93 Ford 1320. That's got the 1.3 liter 3-cylinder diesel in it. It's got about 1,800 hours on it. Stored in a shed, uses an engine heater when the temperature drops below 10 above. But recently it's been acting the fool, requiring the cycling of the glow plugs numerous times before it would actually start up. Tim writes, as I grew frustrated with the inconsistent starts, I decided to try a Seafoam motor treatment with about a half a tank of diesel, about 3-4 gallons. I added a full can of Seafoam, then ran the tractor for over an hour, moving snow and firewood, etc., allowing the treatment to circulate. And then I used the tractor the following day and then again today, and it now starts right up like it should. Seafoam seems to have done the trick. Indeed, Tim, indeed. That's why I always run Seafoam in my diesel tractors. It helps the cold starting, definitely in the winter, but it also assists in keeping those cylinders running happy when you are using it. You can find this stuff, the Seafoam motor treatment, all over everywhere. A wonderful product in the world of weary diesel cylinders. Seafoam. Johnny?
Thanks, Kenny. Other news, the Pentagon is sending 3 warships and thousands of additional Marines to the Middle East in the second deployment of Marines to the region in the past week. About 2,200 to 2,500 Marines from the California-based USS Boxer Amphibious Ready Group and 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit are headed to the U.S. Central Command, according to U.S. officials. As the war neared the 3-week mark, Iran projected defiance today with the new supreme leader declaring that, quote, safety must be taken away from the country's enemies, and its armed forces vowing to pursue them even in tourist spots. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's oil officials are working frantically to project how high oil prices actually might go if things continue the way they're going. The base case, several oil officials in the Gulf's biggest producer said, is that prices could soar past $180 a barrel if the disruptions persist until late April. Well, that would sound like a bonanza for the kingdom, still heavily leveraged to oil revenue. It's concerning to them. Prices that high could push consumers into habits that slash their oil use, potentially in the long term, and trigger a recession that also hurts demand. It also risks casting Saudi Arabia in the role of a profiteer in a war it didn't start. Saudi Aramco, the country's national oil company, which handles production, sales, and pricing, declined to comment on a possible rise in prices.
You know, in fighting Iran, you're fighting a leadership such as it remains that really isn't fighting for anything except its ideology. In other words, it strikes me that they don't care if they blow up gas terminals. Yeah. They don't care if they blow up oil terminals. They're the only thing they live for is to kill infidels, to destroy infidels. They don't care if they don't need to preserve a tourist spot. What the hell do they care about if you go lay on the beach? They don't care about anything. It's hard to fight them. They don't care about anything except their ideology. Mm-hmm. I don't know where to go with that except good luck, Marines.
Well, it's got to be hurting their income, too, does it not? I mean, they should care about that.
You'd think so, but they don't care about it as much as their ideology.
Yeah.
U.S. Treasury Department has said Cuba won't be allowed to take delivery of Russian crude oil, even as the fuel-starved island appears poised to get 2 tankers from Russia carrying oil and gas. In a general license published Thursday, the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control added Cuba to a list of countries that would be blocked from transactions involving the sale, delivery, or offloading of crude or petroleum products that originate from Russia. The U.S. had temporarily authorized the purchase of Russian oil stranded at sea last week as part of an effort to stabilize energy markets. The short-term measure suspended sanctions that were first imposed on Moscow following its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The update comes as maritime intelligence providers have been tracking 2 tankers carrying Russian oil and gas heading toward Cuba. A close call between a commercial airliner and a cargo plane trying to land on crossing runways in Newark Liberty International Airport being investigated by federal aviation officials. The National Transportation Safety Board said it was investigating an incident that happened Tuesday night, during which an Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 overflew a FedEx Boeing 777 at the busy New York City area airport. Reports say the planes were within 300 feet of each other at one point in the air. Air traffic controller instructed Alaska Airlines Flight 294 to perform a go-around, that is, discontinue its landing approach and circle around for a new approach to land, because FedEx Flight 721 from Memphis was cleared for a final approach. There were 171 passengers and 6 crew members on board the one-passenger flight. FedEx said in a prepared statement that its flight crew followed instructions from air traffic control and landed safely.
Is air traffic control affected by the shutdown?
That I don't know.
I don't think it is. Well, I shouldn't say. I'm not sure. Sad news for those of us who have been broadcasting news for a while. CBS News said this morning it will be shutting down its radio news service after nearly 100 years of operation, all part of a round of layoffs, blaming a shift in radio station programming strategies and challenging economic times. When it went on the air in September 1927, CBS News Radio was the precursor of the entire network, giving a youthful William S. Paley a start in the business. Famed broadcaster Edward R. Murrow delivered reports from London during World War II as part of the service. Today, CBS News Radio provides material to an estimated 700 stations across the country, and yes, there's one here in the Twin Cities. It's WCCO. It's best known for its top-of-the-hour news roundups. The service will end May 22nd, according to CBS.
Joe, in some partial shutdowns, such as the one beginning in February this year, the Department of Homeland Security, which includes TSA agents, might be affected, while the Department of Transportation, the FAA, and the Air Traffic Control remains funded, meaning controllers might be paid in some scenarios, while others are not. However, in major full government shutdowns, air traffic controllers are not paid.
I don't know if John had this in his news, but I do think I know what the final nail in the coffin was for that announcement from CBS. Are you guys aware of this?
No.
It was this piece of audio.
They're 3 over 500,
Yes, sir.
and who expected that? Don't worry about that.
No, I don't hear anything.
They're,
Expect what?
They're playing great ball. 1 second.
Poor guy.
Gonna help somebody with their baggage?
God, Dave, that was awesome.
Dave Lee, God bless you.
I don't really think that's why CBS is.
Oh, you don't think that was why?
That's local programming, Chris, not national.
Oh,
See, the
I'm
nationals
sorry. I'm
shutting
sorry.
down.
Well, I can tell you, I will miss the top of the hour newscast.
It's one of the most legendary radio stations in the history of the
Forget
country.
the radio station; they're nothing anymore. I just miss the top of the hour newscast.
I miss the old sounder from the 70s.
That one?
Yeah, the original sounder.
What was the grease stain? Tell me the...
Well, when I was a kid, the kitchen radio was frozen by virtue of grease to that station because you didn't want to miss a school closing.
No.
That's what killed them finally. Is
My
the
grandma
school closings went electric.
My grandma and grandpa would not listen to me on AM 1500.
No.
Because I wasn't because I wasn't on CCO.
That's right. That was
and
radical.
they couldn't. There's no way they were going to turn away from CCO to hear their grandson on the radio.
Not a chance in hell.
That's really cute, Kenny. But we're not leaving the neighbor.
Is that in this town? Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
I found out with my in-laws when I started working news 2001, I think it was here.
Yeah.
My in-laws would not turn the channel. Basically, they acted like they didn't know we existed on
Right.
the radio station.
Right.
So
Right. They said, "Oh, you work over there. That's too bad."
yeah,
Oh.
it's too bad
Maybe
you're
you
not on
could get a job at
CCO.
CCO.
When posting your cash bail to get sprung from the county lockup, I got a tip for you. Chris, this might come in handy with your $1,000 bill.
Uh-oh.
If you're posting
Oh, I
your-
know exactly what you're going to say.
If you're posting your bail, make sure not to hand the judge counterfeit $100 bills.
Key.
That's a good tip.
33-year-old Patrick Alexander arrested for trespassing at a property in Chesterfield, South Carolina. After a night in jail, he was brought before Judge John Davis, who had set his bail at $250 on the misdemeanor charge. Given back his belongings so that he could retrieve bail money, Alexander pulled out a wad of cash and handed Davis three $100 bills and advised Judge Davis to, quote, keep the change.
Oh, my
Davis.
God. Oh, my God.
Davis, who told Alexander, sorry, I can't take a tip. I can't keep the extra money at that point. Noticed the cash's color. It didn't look quite right. When he flipped the bills over, the judge saw Chinese writing on the back of the money. As if
He was a candidate for the Gumption County Institute for the Criminally Incompetent.
Yep, and he didn't get let go at this point. He had a couple of new charges tacked on, forgery, a felony, and a contempt of court misdemeanor. His bond increased to $6,000. When Alexander's money was booked into evidence, police noted the defendant had actually handed the judge 4 fake bills. So he apparently tried to tip the judge $150, not just the 50.
Keep the change, Judge.
Did he say right away, hang on, Judge, I got the 6K right here. Hang on.
Keep the change.
Okay, Johnny, thank
She
you.
said, Harry,
You're welcome.
keep the change. Bizarre.
Here we go. Cue the talent. Stand by.
I'm not even worried after last night because they didn't have Kasparov. Kaprizov or whatever his name is.
How could he get hurt? He had like 3 weeks off while the rest of them were over there fighting for the gold medals. What was he doing?
I don't know. He's got the lower body injury, whatever that is.
That's anything.
He's day to day
below the navel, right? Okay,
yeah.
Unbelievable. Yes, but you know what I said? They're lucky they don't have to play any of these crappy teams in the playoffs. They're okay against the good teams. The crappy ones they can't beat. Thank God we don't have to play a last place team in the first round.
Well, it looks like they'll have to play Colorado, right?
Or Dallas, one of the two.
I'm sorry, Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas or Colorado.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. Dallas has been as ungodly as Colorado was for they at one point were 30-4 or something.
Yeah.
Dallas is. The other day I looked at Dallas and it said in the standings, they got the last 10. They were 10-0. So and then they've kept playing pretty good too.
I have a question about that Olympic team. So, have you guys heard the story about Jack Hughes and the game-winning puck?
Yeah, he's disappointed because the Hall of Fame took the puck and he wants the puck.
But how did they already get their hands on it?
I don't know.
It's his puck.
Well, no, he didn't pay for it.
Who the hell knows? Give it back to him and tell him it's the puck.
Yeah.
And it's some other puck. That's like, they're all the same. What the hell? Just tell them what it is. What a bunch of crap.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, my Billikens won handily last night. Holy mackerel.
Oh, my goodness. They are good, all of us.
They are fast and good. Is Avila? I don't know enough about basketball, and I never do want to know enough. But is Avila an NBA candidate?
I would know because I would not know because I've never watched him. You know what? I used to be fixated by that thing, and now I turn it on once in a while. I got to see the Badgers lose, and
that was glorious.
Well, he has a shot to be the darling of this tournament. He played very well last night, and he just stands out because he's so goofy looking. And that team is really fast.
And you got to love a team named the Billikens. It's always been my favorite nickname ever.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what a Billiken is. But
it's a mysterious monster in the forest.
Really?
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, Rick Majerus was there for a while, and then they were down, and then they came back up a little bit, and it's pretty fantastic that they're back again because that used to be a great basketball school at one time.
In my pool, they're the winner.
Really?
Well, I got them going all the way. Just one of those miracle years.
There you go.
And if the Big East decides to add one more team, I got a hunch it might be St. Louis instead of our Tommies. So, because they got a bigger arena. But St. Louis is stuck in that, the second-rate Catholic conference, the one that the other ones are, the other Eastern schools are in, too.
I'm surprised you are not glued to the tournament.
Well, I did, as I said, the Wisconsin game, greatest stat ever, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that the guy that won the game?
No.
He's averaging 12 points a game. He's taken 4 2-pointers all year. This was the first one he made.
Wow.
It was a layup to win the game because he was out in the open court. And everybody thought he'd just pull up and shoot a three, but he went and laid it up. But they're 3-point specialist.
Yeah.
He just comes in and throws them from all over the place.
No one's here.
Four 3-pointer attempts all year. It's unbelievable. There weren't many upsets yesterday. That I was going to say at Twitter as soon as there was an upset. My bracket is busted. Everybody likes to announce their bracket is busted every time there's an upset.
Well, now, is the bracket busted only if you lose a team that you predicted to get into the Final Four?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. In other words, your bracket isn't busted if you're
No, but people always say.
Yeah.
There is Reavers, though. They must have the thing like the baseball Deadpool going too, right? That you're you got to keep picking 3 winners in each round or something like that.
Yeah, there are several different ones that you can enter, and yeah, one of them is they even let you re-pick teams after each given round too, which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, you know what they're going to do, supposedly, Joe? We don't have enough of these 8th place teams in the thing. They're supposedly going to go up to 76.
Oh my God
Almighty!
That's too much.
Add 8 more. Now, I don't know how you come up with that number, though. 76, I heard.
Did you guys hear, by the way, the tournament that the Gophers got into in Las Vegas? Do you know what the prize money is? This is going to ruin the college basketball tournament, in my opinion. 8 teams, Joe, are playing in this event in Las Vegas.
I'm aware of that.
And the champion gets $500,000 in NIL money. See you later, NCAA tournament.
Was it the champion or was it divided among everybody?
I thought it was the champion, but I'm willing to be corrected.
Maybe you only read the headline.
I read the
Now,
story.
it's nice to see a team that, they take 2 from each major, from several variety of major conferences.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the other Big Ten team is? It's bad enough that our boys are, 8-12 and 15-17. Rutgers,
Oh, no.
6-14 and 14-19. Let's go to the postseason. Come on, boys. That's one reason I'm sick of it. Somebody's going to try to get me fired up about Nico taking his boys to the, there's also the NIT. That's 32, so we're up to 100 teams, and then there's this. Something else, the CIT or the CBI or something, and that's got like 30 teams in it too. So,
boy, you really got to be bad if you're not in a postseason event.
You do, yes, you do.
Pat, I ran into NCAA ref Eric Curry at the airport the other day.
Yes, the last man to give Arizona State coach Bobby Hurley a technical.
Well, and I just challenged him. I said, "Call the travel, okay? Let's go old school. Forget this extra step." And he assured me that he would not do that.
No.
I saw so much traveling last night that I've given up worrying about it.
But this is nothing compared to the NBA.
Oh, it's terrible.
The NBA, first we had the Euro step, which means you can stop and then take a step. But now we've had the gather. We get the gather.
Oh, yeah.
The Euro step.
What's the gather?
So it's like 5. I don't know. You're gathering, I guess. You kind of you stop and then you kind of stretch out and you gather yourself and then you take the Euro step.
Oh boy!
It's about remember who's the greatest long jumper you've ever seen? And he wouldn't be called for traveling.
No.
20 Ralph Boston, 32 feet. Nah, that's not traveling.
Okay, puzzle me this. What would happen if you just forgot about traveling? Just don't call it anymore.
That's pretty much what's happening.
I know. Well, how would the game? I don't think the game would be any worse.
Well, it'd be a little more like football because you'd have to have a big, strong guy to run through people.
I guess, yeah.
I know.
So what you're saying, Patrick, is that the double pump layup was way ahead of its time.
It was. Think how effective the double pump layup would have been, Rook, if you never had to dribble.
You know, I was the one that started the trend. People were scratching their heads going, maybe we should do a little extra step here.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, a little extra step. Help the kids out.
Yeah, well, it isn't as bad in college as it is in the NBA. The NBA is preposterous.
Hey, St. Thomas plays Mankato tonight for a chance to go to the
Yeah.
tournament.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
At Mankato.
That's right.
It will be 2-1, and then somebody might get an empty netter, but it'll be very.
That can be heard on 1500 ESPN.
You want to go?
Yes.
I can't.
Come on. Let's road trip. We'll get a little bite at the 508 pub.
You can use your $1,000 bill.
We can use my Trump gold-plated $1,000 bill. Dinner's on me, Joe.
Yeah.
They got they got the good pizza joints down there, man.
Oh.
With Pagliai's, man, you can't beat it, right? Pagliai's. I keep pronouncing the G. You're not supposed to pronounce the G, but Pagliai's is right down there near the stadium.
What does their building hold for hockey?
About just not quite 6.
About the same as St. Thomas.
And it's
No,
sold
no.
out. It's absolutely sold out this weekend.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'll be fun.
that will be
I
fun.
wish it was on TV.
It isn't, huh? It isn't, huh?
I got a hookup for you, sir.
I don't have the magic thing.
No, you don't need that.
Oh, I don't watch it on computers either.
Okay, so
Kenny always tells me he has the magic thing.
Joe?
Yes, Pat.
1 week from today, we'll know how the Twins did in their season opener. Boy, is that
Holy mackerel.
Holy cow.
sneaking up on us with no time. So, do you hear the latest about the World Baseball Classic?
Now, we haven't chatted since the title game, which I thought was pretty fun.
Fantastic. And I got to tell you a secret.
Yep.
I was rooting like hell for Venezuela.
Well, you won.
Louis Arise and the whole crew. The U.S. guys, Aaron Judge and these weenies who don't give a damn are walking out there with flags and, all this crap, wearing the 17 of the 20 Italians were from the United States.
Yep.
Germany. Germany doesn't have a baseball player in the whole freaking country.
Max Kepler.
Max Kepler, yeah, and he got suspended for steroids. Which proves he's a good German.
That's right.
Pat, I thought the Venezuelan players were sincere in their joy, though.
Oh, they were. They were. The Puerto Rico, the Dominican, Puerto Rico, they don't know they're citizens of the U.S., neither is Trump. But, Cuba was kind of dead because their country's dying because of us. But Puerto Rico, the Dominican, and Venezuela are really into it, and for good reason. They're all from there, Did you hear about the two great, Johnny, who are the two great Venezuelan players that are from a town of 3,000, a fishing village from 3,000?
I don't know.
3,000. Did you hear that? There's a little, they were talking about a little fishing village. You can't, take a car there. You got to take some kind of a...
Got to take a mule.
You got to take a scooter to go over this big hill and down there on, dirt roads. And then there's a little fishing village there, 3,000 people, and they've had about 8 big leaguers. They got 2 guys on the thing. It's unbelievable.
Wow. That's cool.
Pat, I'll talk to you Monday.
And by the way, how can you ever have been a Twins fan and not root for Louis R.I.?
That's true.
I can answer Pat's question before he leaves. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Michael Garcia are from the fishing village of La Sabana.
Yeah, 3,000 people.
Yep, 3,000.
Holy cow!
Unbelievable.
I thought they had.
Right.
I thought they had more than 2 major leaguers. That village.
Well, no, that's who they got now.
Yeah,
currently
on this team, they've had others before. So.
All right,
anyway,
thank you.
Talk to you. I bet they got mosquitoes there.
I bet they do.
Bye-bye.
That's his last thought.
I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived closer to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody. 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Oh, that worked.
Finally, thank God today is Friday. TGTI Friday. It's the scramble!
You're damn right it is. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We already know that spring has sprung. What time? 9:30 this morning? Is that what time it was? Spring has
Something
sprung?
like that.
And you know what? Now is the time to get on the schedule for Hofferman Water and Connecticut and gift yourself the wonderful, wonderful treasure of pure, clean water, courtesy of Hofferman Water and Connecticut. My relationship with Hofferman, I started out as a customer. That's right. I had terrible water when I was living in Carver, and they came out, they gave me that free water analysis and just explained to me, hey, this water's pretty bad. So they gave me a couple of different suggestions on how they could update the quality of my water. They have done that for me in 2 different homes right now, working on a 3rd, by the way, for my parents. And you know what? It's going to be the best decision that you ever decided to make, because once you get that drinking water system installed with Hofferman Water and Connecticut, you never have to buy bottled water again. That's how great it is. But you've got to get on that schedule. So call them directly at 612-895-2440 or just visit their website at hoffermanwater.com. Either way, you can get on the schedule and have them come up for that free water analysis. 612-895-2440 or visit hoffermanwater.com. And Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them here on the Garage Logic podcast. Joe?
Only because they come to us Oh.
Hey.
Right here on
Fix
the
this
show.
thing.
Do you like hot dogs, Joey?
Yeah.
Only because they come to us all the way from Penguin, Tasmania, Australia, from the Traveling Lymans. It was on this day in Minnesota.
Today is March 20th.
In 1858, on this day, Kandiyohi County was established, at first comprising only the southern half of its present area. In 1870, the county absorbed the northern neighbor, Monongalia County. Kandiyohi, a Dakota name for some lakes in the county, means where the buffalo fish come. On this day,
March 20.
In 1920, W.E.B. Du Bois gave a lecture in St. Paul, sponsored by the local chapter of the NAACP. And on this day,
March 20th,
1992, during World War II, the surviving crew members of the U.S. Army Air Corps bombing raid on Tokyo, led by Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle, gathered in Red Wing. They were joined by Chinese villagers who had rescued some of the airmen after they crash-landed or parachuted into the nearby sea or China after the attack. Organized by a Red Wing area resident who had led an expedition to China in 1990 to try to recover the remains of raid bombers, the reunion also honored Doolittle, who was unable to attend. It was on this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
Who would we lose to on March 20th?
On this day in 2013, it was reported, unbelievably enough, that the University of Minnesota lost money on beer sales at
that's
TCF
right.
Bank Stadium.
Oh, we had fun with that one, didn't we?
They lost money selling beer. That's impossible.
In fact,
That's like bankrupting a casino. You wouldn't think that could be done.
Johnny, who's the guy? ESPN is it Darren Ravel, the business guy for ESPN? He said it was confirmed they were the first sports entity to ever lose money
Well, how did it
selling
happen?
alcohol.
I don't remember. How did it happen?
It was something to do with their contract, and they were. I can't remember exactly, but it was really bungled.
You'd have to really screw
We
something
lost
up.
money selling beer.
God almighty. Well, thank you, GLers.
How did we miss that
I
Chuck-
hope there's a Monday in our future.
How did we miss that Chuck Norris died?
Oh, yeah, Chuck Norris died. John should have had
86.
that in his news.
I don't do deaths anymore. Sorry.
okay.
Too
Well,
much
only
static from
musicians.
you.
Just musicians nobody's heard of.
No, not musicians anymore. That's why I'm not doing deaths anymore.
Well, why aren't you doing deaths? I think they're.
What's the matter with you, John?
Take static from
He was an airman first class in the Air Force from 58 to 62.
He was a tough guy.
He was a badass.
Yeah.
86.
86. He's gone now. You should have known that.
Chuck Norris didn't die. Chuck Norris chose to not be alive anymore.
Chuck Norris chose to be unalive.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Before
Yes.
we go,
Well, I guess we're still here.
When Chuck Norris was born, he drove his mom home from the hospital.
I love Chuck Norris jokes.
we have our GLer of the week.
Well, it's about time. I don't think we had one last week.
Well, we might have missed it, but that's due
Who
to
is it, I wonder?
This week's GLer of the week is Nate Smithson.
I'll be damned.
Wait, hold on. Did I get
Where's
the right
Nate from?
one? No, Nate was a previous winner. This week's GLer of the
he
week
won it again, did he?
Let's screw this up.
is Patrick Hull of Hudson,
How do
Wisconsin.
you spell hole?
Patrick has been a proud town council member since November of 2022. He gets the gift pack from Masters Maples and
How do you
mastersmaples.com.
spell his last name?
HOEL.
Yeah, you got it right.
Oh,
Okay.
it's fine. I was just
Okay.
curious.
And Nate, by the way, New Prague, Minnesota. Also a town council member since September
they get
of
the
2022.
syrup and the whole deal?
The whole shooting match,
The
Joe.
rub.
That's how it works. Find out more, and you can become the GLer of the week by upgrading to an annual town council membership. Find out more information at garagelogic.com. And you can also follow us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And you can also follow us on YouTube, where you can watch the show each and every single day.
I love watching myself each and every single day.
And here with our recruitment alert is
Yeah,
Garage Logic's
this
Matthew
is not gonna
Mikulski.
Continue forever, by the way. Hey, advertise on Garage Logic. You got it. GarageLogic.com. Let's do this.
I pointed to him. I didn't look at him. I pointed to him.
Let's do this.
Have a great weekend. You got big plans?